So why am I saying this? Like basically, you guys can act all the way you want. People around you, however, will show you how you're really acting. All of your colleagues, because you heard him call them, they're just sitting like this and they're just doing this. Come, email, training. It's like if there is a way or a day where maybe something would go through the skull, like just something, it would be today. If it's not today, I promise it will be never. Because nobody would come here and be dishonest with you. I want you to know. Nobody. Do you think that this guy that entered here, when he comes in, I didn't see his eyes, how he's gonna act? You guys think that I'm crazy or something? You? Or you? For you, do you think I don't see like in your eyes, like what you think? You think I don't see your brain? You think I'm an idiot, right? I'm saying this for you guys. I don't know if he knows it. He gave it to me. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, it even like it was in a package like a medicine. I'm like, what the fuck is this chemical? They don't care. They don't want to work. They're lazy. When you ask them a question, they become defensive. They don't know what's going on. And every single month or every year they have the same problems. When you look at him, why would he be a good leader? Why is he a good leader? Just look at how he acts. Yeah. How does he act in the training? How?
He follows?
Yes, he follows. Let me ask you, why do I need to follow you if you're not following anybody? So you're just telling me that if I was your leader, you would not follow me. Which means that because you're my leader and you cannot follow, I'm not gonna follow you. Do you get that? It's the same when you go on a date and you sit down with the girl and she's like, really not? I've done this. There was this model from Vogue, I'm not even joking. Super beautiful, super nice, we sit down, the waiter comes in and she's like, give me da. And please make sure it's in like 10 minutes, not more. Okay? She's like this, but to me, she's super nice. I'm like, if I was this waiter, she would fuck me up as well. I was like, I have been a waiter when I was 16. If I was this waiter, she would tell me the same. But she's nice to me? No, I'm not even like this. So why should I follow you when you don't follow anybody? Or you as my manager, why would you teach me if you are not learning anything? You as my leader, why would you tell me to call, like he says, 50 or 60 times if you're not calling? Or you know what, if you haven't called? Does that make sense, guys? Do you get me?
Yes.
It says it here, like I actually asked you a question that has the answer right in front of you.
You have it on the t-shirt.
I have it on my t-shirt, yes. There is a reason for that. This will never give you respect towards anybody. You know, like when you go out and you have kids, like we discussed like a topic like this the other day, and like the child comes in, it's like maybe this big, right? And it behaves with me like with a stranger better than it behaves with the father. You know why? Because the father is not giving any example. Have you seen that? You've seen it sometimes? No? Yeah? So it goes and it plays with somebody else. Because the fucking guy smokes all day. It doesn't even do it, like it doesn't think, oh, my dad is, doesn't even think it. It's like children are the most honest that you can get. So it just like automatically gets attracted, you know, it's not even like with bad intentions. It just goes and plays. I had this buddy of mine, like, that you even know him, I go there, he has a daughter. First time I see her, hey, how you doing? How you doing? I just like hug her, I say hi, she's like, hi, how you doing? He's like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, what do you mean? She runs away from my mother. He says she runs away from her grandma, basically. She cries when she goes there. I'm like, I have no idea, I don't know. She's like, she never lets anybody touch her. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, kids immediately see if you're able, like if I ask her to follow me, like she knows that if she tells me, can you come and play, I would go and play. Like I would be at least like 10 minutes, I would go, okay, show me, what do you want me to do? Build a castle? Okay, let's build a castle. She likes it. She respects the fact that I'm okay with sharing my time with her. Otherwise, we go back to ego, right? So why am I saying this? Like basically, you guys can act all the way you want. People around you, however, will show you how you're really acting. Like you can have your brain set up to however you want. You can think whatever you want. All you need to look is like just look around. How many people would like to follow you? When you see that, you would know. Now, if you want, you can lie to yourself. You can just sit. You can be like, you know what? I know my best. Like this is it. Stay like that. You know what? I promise you guys, some of you, even right now, like you would have changed, or maybe a little bit, you would go back. You're not gonna change from this training. 100%. Some of you, 100%. Maybe, by the way, you would even change for some time and you would still go back because now you just are like, oh, well, this like takes a little bit more energy. Okay, so start eating a little bit better maybe, right? Like this would happen, happens with everybody. Do you guys agree with me or not? You think like you just magically, you go and train with anybody and you're a different person. When you go home, what do? Nobody knows. Nobody knows, yeah. But why does it happen? Like, so how come in one team you have like 10 people and like 2 people change totally flip, another 2 or 3 like change 50%, 30%, 40, and then you have the other half change a little bit and go back?
Because we are creatures of habit.
No, that's even like the smallest thing. It's just ego. It's just ego. That's it. Because if it was not from the ego, everybody would not change. Everybody would not change if it was not the ego. If it was me, like nobody, like this would not work. Does that make sense? So, or like that's why I usually ask, can you give me an example of what you have trained in the past 1 year in the beginning? Because at least it also shows if somebody here like wanted to grow, right? So the whole idea when you sit down on a chair or do anything with your client or with the training is that you're actually following everything that they say because they see that you follow it. So when you ask the questions and you understand them, eventually when you come here, you can catch them and you can make them follow you. And know that not just you guys are sitting, but also all of your colleagues, because you heard him call them, they're just sitting like this and they're just doing this. What do you, come, email, training. How can your client follow you? Do you think I not see it in your eyes? Do you think that this guy that entered here, when he comes in, I didn't see his eyes, how he's gonna act? You guys think that I'm crazy or something? You? Or you? For you, do you think I don't see like in your eyes, like what you think? You think I don't see your brain? You think I'm an idiot, right? I'm saying this for you guys. Otherwise, you know what? I didn't want to come here because I have work to do. So I could have done the online training, but him and like they said, you know what, life is much better. Let's go. I'm okay. Like I would not, my expenses are paid. I'm not paid on top here. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not saying this to scold you or for you to feel bad. It's like if there is a way or a day where maybe something would go through the skull, like just something, it would be today. If it's not today, I promise it will be never. Because nobody would come here and be dishonest with you. I want you to know. Nobody. So if this doesn't happen, just know you don't need to fully listen to me is what I'm saying. But if today nothing goes through your skull like anybody hears, because I don't want to like limit to a couple people, right? If nothing goes through today, understand that what you see is what you get until the end of your life. No, like really, like just you can tattoo this on your hand. You can remove lead by example. You can just place what you see is what you get. You can just have it like that. So, all right. One simple thing that I just wanted to show is, I'm not even gonna ask you again this, but one of the main things that any team or client, if we exclude the main thing that we just said, like lead by example, so also you follow so he can follow me, right? Is that you need to have a charisma, an environment, and achievements. And let me tell you what happens. Usually, when you get a bad leader, he has zero charisma, his environment is at home on Instagram, and his achievements are mid to average. 5 out of 10, basically. That's what happens. And then you go and you send emails. So this one comes from energy, which is top one priority, which you guys asked about many times. It's like, how do you do it? I just generate it. This morning, by the way, so gave me this. This here, you couldn't. This here is a placebo effect. You know what's a placebo?
Yeah.
Yeah? He says this gives energy. He didn't read it on the back. You know what it is? L-glutamine and L-arginine. Do you know what it is? Yeah. L-glutamine regenerates a little bit. Really, this is nothing. And L-arginine increases a little bit the heart rate. But it doesn't give you energy. You feel like you have energy. That's why it's called placebo. I don't know if he knows it. He gave it to me. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, it even like it was in a package like a medicine. I'm like, what the fuck is this chemical? I'm like, L-arginine and and L-glutamine. That's the main one. The others, there's like 2 or 3 other things, like 0.5 milligrams. These two are 100 milligrams. It's nothing. It's water. And it works for him. So how come? Because it's here. Another thing that I can tell you. We fell asleep at around like 2 or 3 or something. I don't know, like 2 or 3 a.m. I have energy not just because of that, but because I try to at least a little bit, 30 to 40 minutes in the morning, and if possible also in the afternoon train. So when you have a tough day, or maybe you have a lot of clients, or you have a training, your body, because it's moving, like you need some time, okay? You need like maybe 3 months for it to get used to it, because you're moving every day more. When you're sleeping, it actually starts generating more energy because it knows that the next day you're gonna mess it up. It knows that it needs this bar of energy and that you've expended it. So when you actually train more, this is proven, that's why athletes have more energy. When you're sleeping, it generates more. That's why you probably would start eating a little bit more as well, right? So the next day when you wake up after training like really 3, 4, maybe 5 months, you actually have not this much maximum, you have this much maximum. And even if you feel at 70%, it's still more than where you were 6 months ago. Because it knows that it needs it, otherwise it's gonna fall asleep, right? So you cannot escape, like what I'm trying to say is you cannot escape it. You can think that you can just sit and you can be like really smart, like some kind of a genius, I don't know. Doesn't happen. People don't care about that. Otherwise they would hire only geniuses to be a manager. You know what, actually in many cases they are not good managers because they don't understand others. You have stories, you have influence, and you have language, how you use your language. Sometimes you're brute, sometimes you're nice, sometimes you're respectful, sometimes maybe you're a little bit more direct. It happens. Environment, we spoke about it first meeting. What's your family, what's your company? Do you have freedom in your family? Do you have responsibility towards your company? If you don't have that, how can you tell me that you have responsibility towards my house or my business? Where the place where you make money and the place where you live, you don't care about it as much. And you come and you tell me that you care about my investment. But do you guys understand me that I can see it in the eyes of the person? Do you think that the client cannot see it? Do you get me? Like you think you can hide it? Like I'm serious. Yeah? Like think about it. He has to give you money. Maybe it's 20,000, maybe it's 2 million. For him, it's big enough. Believe me that he would see it, he would feel it, he would see your eyes, he would know if you care. That's why you're training, and that's why I tell you that it's not a good idea to fake it. If you don't really know how to do it, until I learned it, I'm honest, I was faking it like maybe 2 or 3 years. Because I really didn't care. So I'm not saying like I got born like this. I really didn't care about people. And it took me a long time. Many cases it would not work to fake it. And then achievements, business, life, and people. Because sometimes maybe you can figure out some numbers, but you know what happens? One of the main things, if you have this, but you don't go here, so you basically, I told you why this guy asked those questions, because he's comfortable, right? When you're comfortable, you cannot have achievements. Do you guys agree with me? Because you're happy where you are. You know what? There's people that are happy where they are. That's fine. It's not for me. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. But let me tell you one thing. If you're happy where you are, can you please not make other people's life miserable? Can you you're happy where you are, right? How come everybody that is so comfortable with their life and everything that they do is so fucking negative? Can you tell me? You're comfortable, right? You like it. Yes or no? So how come they don't care, they don't want to work, they're lazy. When you ask them a question, they become defensive. They don't know what's going on. And every single month or every year they have the same problems. But you're comfortable. What kind of a masochistic shit is this? No, it's really. So at least be comfortable and please let me live my life and do my business. Okay, cool. No problem. Because there's always people like this. That's fine. So the main thing is that you can choose which one you want to be every single day, because some days, I'm actually going to sit and relax as well. How many days would you like to be comfortable? How many days would you like to grow? You know why I constantly say this, guys? Because if this is the one thing that you always remember, maybe you're not going to flip anything from the training, but every single day you would move 1%. You don't even... Here, this is cheat codes. If you want, you can follow. Immediately it's going to work. If you use the tone and the energy, immediately it's going to work. But if you at least have this, you would move. And when you have, by the way, I understand that, for instance, your market share drops down. So the solar market right now is, let's say, shaky this year, right? It will not affect you as much. It shouldn't even affect you that negatively, because one of the main things that you guys should do that you told me that you haven't done is call for referrals. At least on the first training when we did it, you said you get automatic referrals. So you're telling me that, maybe you're not, but you're telling me, out of my perception, that you're that comfortable that 9 months the market is going down and you did not call for one referral. Does that make sense? Because that's an easy win. It's still closing. Maybe you have 10% conversion. Maybe it should be 50. So you call 10 clients, you get 5 referrals. Okay, 2 referrals. Okay, 3 referrals. How come 9 months you did not call for one referral if the market is going down? So that's what I mean when I say a company, it's not even to move proportionate. You should constantly grow. There's companies that I can show you that go through recessions that they make money in a recession, right? We can take a break now, but overall, if you're looking for something easy, that's totally fine. All that I'm trying to say is that you're not going to be happy. I'm not here to say you're losing money, you're not listening to me. I'm simply saying you're not going to be happy. You actually create energy, to expand energy on a problem, to get an achievement, to now say, I have a meaning. You fixed something. If you don't expand energy and it's easy and there's no problem, can you please tell me what's the meaning of life? Can you tell me what you're going to do all day? Can you live like that 50 years? It's just one story, Greek story. You know Sisyphus? Sisyph with the rock. You know Sisyph with the rock? Do you know the story? You don't? Sisyph is a Greek guy, all the way back, that was a philosopher. And by the way, he also, all the philosophers back then trained. Okay? So he was really good with people, really smart, really nice, really relaxed. He liked to outsmart the gods. So he would usually play games with them. Imagine chess, imagine running, imagine some kind of a card game, and he would outsmart Zeus. All right? Persephone, whoever, he would beat them on a game. Maybe he cannot throw lightning, right? But he would outsmart them. They had a rule, obviously. They will not kill him just because they're mad at him. He has his own destiny. There's like wheels of destiny. So he has to live. The second he dies, they decide to punish him. So he goes there and they say, from now, because they are God, so they can do whatever they want when you're dead, from now, up until the end of time, so that's eternity, forever, you will push this rock, big rock, up the mountain, and every time, it's like a code, imagine, every time when you go up, the rock is gonna fall down and you have to run back and push it again. Push it again up the mountain. When you go up, it falls down, and now you gotta go back and push it again. This is his torture up until the end of eternity because he beat them every time in games. Does that make sense? He decided to beat them one last time since he's gonna be doing it for eternity. He decided to smile while doing it. Yeah. So they made him do it, he decided to smile while he's doing it. That's the whole logic of the story. You get the logic. It's constant problems, constant torture. The only way to actually go through it is to smile and to be happy that you have it. If you think that, if you think that you're gonna be happy without having it, okay, try it. I see a lot of people trying it. So I think that story actually has a really good meaning, and we should remind ourselves that constantly, because yesterday, did you see me how I was looking at the people that were cleaning the streets? For a second, did you see me? We're just driving on the car, like I was back, and I turned around, and there's these two people cleaning like this. I'm like, I'm working with so many teams constantly, and there's at least all the time like 50% of the people miserable and negative. And those were people our age, your age, my age. They were like just cleaning this. Yeah, no, like, sorry, I'm in Bulgaria, you know. They just clean like this all night, like 10 o'clock, 10:30. This is ridiculous, man. So I hope you have a nice lunch, and we'll be back at, I guess, 2 o'clock. Right? Okay.